Justin, what time is it?
It's Chad time, baby.
Wait, no, I was setting up the bit about what time of day or night ghosts can attack.
Oh.
Because it's the middle of the day as
It
we
is.
record this.
Yeah.
But as we all know, Chad Johnson is really great.
Yes, exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been far too long. Joining us on the pavilion right now, longtime beloved friend of the show, friend in every capacity, Chad Johnson. OMG Chad, it's so good to see you.
Hi.
Man.
They were. I found out an hour ago that you guys were gonna show up.
I was like, hey. I'm really, one for the forethought and planning of, when I drop by.
Well, yeah, it's also just weird because randomly the person staying in my house was going to the same wedding that you were going to. So everything kind of came together last minute, but we're very excited that you're here. Man, it's so funny because we're in the process of the show evolving, which means that we kind of like just look back to all of like past iterations of it, and try to pull what we want to from each thing. What is your favorite NSFW show memory from when you were like,
to be honest, I guess you could go back even before that because
BB Live.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Chad's Gap at Alta.
Even before BB Live, right? No.
I think so.
No.
I remember one of the first interviews that I had, the only interview I had with you. We went upstairs and you were doing BB Live at the time and you had the NSFW logo up on your computer and you were like, "Oh yeah, this is like the next thing."
You're not supposed to see this.
You're not supposed to see this.
It's a
secret
did I not take
information.
that down? It's a red square with a black border. Yeah, I invented it. All right, don't make a big deal about
I
it.
was like, "Whoa, that looks 3D modeled."
It is. I totally modeled it in
Whoa.
3D. Well, I mean, if you ever want to work for me for a while.
And I was like, I have to change my shorts, but yes.
Yeah. Brian flipped down his glasses and then like flipped out a pocket knife that turned out to be a comb because he's like super cool 80s guy.
Yeah, no. And I was sold. That's the thing. I was totally on board.
He was like, and now look at me. You've ruined my life, Brushwood. What have you done?
Yeah, totally. And so that was like, so I was watching BB Live.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I was ever on a BB Live, but I was definitely on the first episodes of NSFW.
Oh yeah, no, I guess that's right because we did the meat drunk thing.
The meat drunk was
like early NSFW show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that was
because
I even think, did you put out through BB Live show the job opportunity?
No.
I know we did that later. You did that later.
I
don't Chad left.
Maybe you did, but that's not how I
went out.
came
Okay.
across it.
Yeah.
It was Gus.
Yeah, the very first episode of BB Live show, I know that Captain MG was working for.
Captain MG was on, when I first started streaming with you guys.
So I'm going to guess that I probably started making noises about needing someone because Captain MG was going to get a real job.
But I didn't know that.
Okay.
I did not.
You're like, I'm here for Gus and Gus alone.
Well, actually,
make no mistake.
So I don't even know if I was there for Gus. I think I literally so what happened was I was working at Gus's company, T. Myers.
Yep.
And
which is just up the road.
That's
got to be
Isn't
weird
that friggin'
too.
weird? Yeah, no, seriously, yeah. And they made this big deal out of your birthday. It was your birthday. They'd like get you a cake and everyone would come over for lunch. We'd all have like this birthday thing.
Yeah.
And so like I was expecting that around my birthday and then it never happened. And like, yeah. And I wasn't like upset about it, but it was definitely like, oh, that didn't happen today. Okay, well, whatever. And I didn't. And
so
then,
you show up just kind of thinking like, uh-oh.
yeah, like, oh, my birthday day. We're gonna get a cake.
Like, sure, I'll get to that work.
Yeah,
like, lickety split. Let me just wait for this cake to show up. And
a whole gross of 260 Qs, get right on it.
Yeah, exactly. And then it didn't happen. And it literally wasn't a big deal, but it was just like, a thing. And then, the next day happened. And then I think it was the day after that Gus was like, hey Chad, I forgot that it was your birthday 2 days ago, and I'm so sorry about it. And he knew that I was really into your work and your podcast.
Right, because we had bumped into each other like on the road. You were traveling with Gus for various gigs.
Yes, with CJ and Gus
exactly.
and everything. And so I kind of knew of you, and obviously back then that was Revision 3 time and Scam School, and that was
just barely starting.
That was the only way I would ever get into the online media space at all. Like it was the only, and you were in Austin.
That was the Austin slipstream.
You are literally the bottom of the barrel, the worst of the
but
worst,
also the cream of the crop at the same time. And so I was fascinated, and Gus knew that. And because I bet, I was young too, so I was probably like, so how do you know Brian?
Yeah,
like I'm sure I was the awkward like, so Brian, what's he up to today? And like
and the version I got from Gus is like, hey, you should just talk to Chad.
Yeah.
I'm like, about what? He's like, I literally don't know
or
understand
what you kids are up to.
I think it would make him happy.
Pogs or whatever.
Yeah.
Pogs.
Yeah. Those, interwebs shows. And so to make it up to me for missing my birthday, he invited Brian down for lunch. And so we chatted for over lunch, and I was like, so
and that's how it all came together.
How does this work? But that's not even how it all came together. I think we switched numbers or something, and we had talked, and then like literally fast forward, I think like half a year, I cannot remember this point, but I was working for my aunt at an AV company, and I hated it. I was
that's right.
Hated it so much. It was.
Oh, that's right. You were doing installs
I was
for
doing
rich people.
Yes.
Oh, can we share the worst day of work that you had?
Yeah, sure.
Where it's like you're installing some stuff, and then there's like this Italian leather.
Oh God! Oh my God! Yes. Okay, so that lunch thing happened.
Yeah.
Right. Then. Like fast forward, I wanted to go back to school. Then I didn't want to go back to school. I started working for my aunt, and they did an AV company where they would install incredible theater systems, TVs in like $1 million homes. Like $3 million was like the minimum of a house that we would put in. And so I'm doing this stuff, and I'm hating it. I don't like the guy that I'm working under. I thought it was going to be like going to a rich person's house and like, here's how you redo your VCR, and I didn't realize it was construction work.
You thought your job was going to be to constantly say, have you tried turning it off and
right,
turning
exactly,
it back on?
Exactly. Yeah. And also you're worth how much money? Like I thought I would be like talking to Elon Musk every day. And so it's like, it's really construction. And so one day it's just construction, just at a $3 million home.
Also, Elon Musk doesn't just say, oh, dude, are you in construction? Can we talk? Can I help you with my
show
contact?
up at the house.
No.
He's like, you know what? You look like good material.
You boy. You.
Yes. I can see your gumption. Very good.
You got the goods.
Yeah, you got the goods. So working construction basically, and we get this shipment of chairs to go into the theater. I'm the lowest guy in the totem pole, so they're like, open up the boxes that we got the chairs in. So I go over there.
So you are building the home theater.
Yeah, we're building a home theater.
Like rich person is going to watch.
And these home
Monster
theaters,
House
to like give a context, like they would have the fiber optic ceilings. They would have, the highest end,
like with like fake starlight
Absolutely.
and stuff. Oh my God.
Absolutely. They would have the mechanical screen, like they would have windows and mechanical screens that would come down at the push of a button. And this is also like early or late 2008, 2009. 2010, I guess, was the year that I was working for her. And so we get this shipment of chairs. I go over there, open it up with my box cutter, cutting the box.
Somebody knows where this is going.
And there is the biggest gouge right in the arm of this armchair. And this armchair was probably like a $5,000 armchair.
Jesus.
And I'm like, literally, like,
how old are you at this moment?
19.
Oh no,
19, I think. And I'm literally shitting my pants.
Yeah.
Like I literally like freaking the hell out. Like, oh my God. And so like nerves, like just going crazy. And I go talk to my supervisor. I'm like, I did something really bad, really bad. So we look at it, and yeah, it was bad. It was bad because like it was also like in the crease of the arm chair.
So it wasn't
so
an
there was
easy...
like this fold, and they got a leather, and they're also, weird nowadays, like, I don't know if this was good or bad, but they were like, we cannot tell the homeowner. So like they hid it from the client. And so yeah.
So you're saying somewhere in Austin right now,
probably Elon Musk's new place.
Elon Musk Grimes' new couch is hiding a Chad Johnson defect fuck up.
Yeah. So they get like a leather repairman out, and they're like trying to hire the best leather repairman, and he like patches it up, and it ended up looking okay. Like if you like look hard at it, but yeah, that was
Did they just like seal the cut?
I have literally no idea, because
they did not
they
let
took
you
me off that job. They were like, you are not
I don't know
at
if
this
you
house.
saw where this is headed.
No.
But,
you stand outside with your forehead on the stucco.
And give me that knife.
I
Totally.
believe, I'm guessing on this, but in the late 70s, there were these, along with Ginsu knife commercials or whatever, they would have this, some kind of, I don't know, new finish or some kind of resealing thing, like for things that got cut exactly like that. And so basically it's like, if you're lucky enough to have the color that matches the leather, then what you would do is you would squeeze everything together. You would take this vinyl goop, run it across, and you would lay kind of a form of the texture of leather over it. And then when it dries,
this is exactly what they were gonna do.
Yeah.
But it was in the fold of a crease of the arm,
Which
so
was
like you couldn't just
problematic.
lay it on there. They had to like make. I saw it later, and it looked passable, but yeah, it was totally.
If you knew what you were looking for,
after something like that happened, I was like, I gotta get out.
This is not for you.
You're like, I am so ashamed.
Done.
I would rather play video games for thousands of people for the rest of my life.
Right. And so I think I literally cold called you and was like, I will work for you for free. I will do whatever it takes. And you were like, oh, well, my other guy just like, he quit. So
Perfect timing. Oh, you know what?
timing.
I think that's why we didn't have to do the casting call that year, is because you just happened to call.
I called it the
that
exact
time.
perfect
exact
time.
right time.
It turns out the doctor's companion was leaving anyway, and we needed a new companion.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, and it's so wild because going on the road, I mean, number one, I would love to hear now with the benefit of hindsight and how everything's worked out, what that was like for you. But there was this moment, and I apologize, I'm ashamed to even say this out loud, because you were so green at the age of 20 that it has been so gratifying over the last 12 plus years to see you grow and develop.
This
in
is
so
like
many
a
great
preamble
ways.
for like, hey, you were shit back then.
No.
You are so good now, but you are bad.
You are so good now. But I remember we were driving, and I'm big on goal setting. I'm big on like, what does a perfect day look like? And I'm listening to this 20-year-old kid who literally forgets left from right and sends me the wrong directions and all that stuff.
Yeah, still.
And has had difficulty with stuttering and stammering and stuff. And I'm listening to you describe. So I wake up and I'm like already famous. And then I walk around my huge house because I want to get a house and I want a big house. And I check in with my fans. I'm like, hey guys, what's up? It's me, the guy you love so much.
I know.
And I'm listening to this and I'm just like, yeah, it's not impossible. Let's talk about fundamentals. And
so you're like, so that username.
I'm sorry, but fuck me sideways if
No,
you didn't
man.
pull it off. Like
Thanks.
you quite literally.
Thanks.
I've watched over the last 12 years. You literally lived the exact life that you described to me on that day. It's so fucking good.
It's weird because I just did like a big KonMari thing at my house, and I got rid of like tons of stuff, and I ran across like some of the sheets. You know, you write down your goals and stuff, and it's like literally that, and it's freaking weird. It's like,
isn't it?
I wake up in my house, and it also is so presumptuous.
Wait, hold on. I thought that was just like
No, that's
Brian
real.
doing-
That is real.
That's like word for
It's
word.
legit real, and
I
some of
wake
it's
up in my house is how you
Yeah,
actually talk in right
I
down
wanted a
I'm
house. Like,
super famous.
yeah. Yeah, no,
And
it's like,
popular.
yeah, because you'd write
Sounds like a Kesha lyric. I wake up in my house and I'm super famous.
It's
Check it with
weird.
my fans. I'm like, what's up? I'm doing great.
But like one of the things that stuck out was like, I want a computer that looks like a command console with 3 monitors. And I'm like literally looking at my 3-monitor computer. I'm like, God dang it. Oh man. But that goal setting stuff works.
It really is. It's magic. Well, and on top of that, and this is one of the things I'm really happy about is like part of that goal setting exercise was we recognized like, okay, what are some things that will need to happen for you to get there? And then I gave Chad the same talk I give everyone about setting aside a chunk of your money to be holy money to work for you, and damned if when you were in LA that wasn't exactly what you did, and you were able to buy that big huge house,
4,000 square foot home. Yeah,
Look, bigger than my house. His house is bigger than my house.
I mean, geez, yeah. No,
it's a Texas thing.
Yeah. No, it's bigger than my house. It's like damn near twice the size of my house.
Okay, I didn't realize we were gonna come on here and get roasted.
We know who's got the biggest house in the room.
Picking on you for having too big of a house.
Yeah.
No, but that was some. It's kind of a magical time travel moment for me to go back to that moment, and I remember trying to be kind, but feeling like, ooh, a lot of distance between what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, and for you to have pulled it all off and to be crushing it, I'm just so happy. It makes me giddy.
Thank you. That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, what's crazy is that even when you went to Twit, it took a while.
Oh heck yeah!
Like it was like you going out there to California was like I think like step one to be like closer to things.
Yeah.
But even then I think it took a little bit for you to like
I feel like
to be
paying
like,
your
oh no,
dues-
I have to do everything. Like nobody else is going to like create a platform for me.
Yeah.
If I do it, I have to invent it and go forward.
Yeah. Like I feel like paying your dues is like a real thing, but it's not something you're required to do or you have to do. But getting all that like experience that you kind of require to take the next step, that's what I keep in my mind is like paying my dues. Like,
well, it's I find it helpful if you. And maybe we're splitting hairs here, but when I think of paying your dues, I think of like doing shit work for the sake of shit work so that you've paid your dues. But what you really are doing in my mind is you're getting close enough to a functioning model so you can know how it works and how it could work better and what you would do different. And you build up this sort of instinctual reaction of like somebody proposes a thing and you're like, oh, well, that's wrong. And it's like, well, how do you know that's wrong? I'm like, I don't know how I know it's wrong. I just know that that's
wrong. It's like
wrong.
the manager problem. Like a manager will suggest something and the employees are like, that is not going to work. Like you haven't been.
Because the employees are closer to the actual.
Employees have like worked with the customer or whatever, what have you in this hypothetical. And I feel like that is absolutely true. It's like.
So, and that was the other thing that was remarkable about watching your time at Twit is you were, yes man sounds wrong, but it's like you were the like let's go, let's say yes to everything, let's see what can happen. And it's like looking back on the experience, Justin and I have kind of ruminated or I don't know if that's negative, meditated on how thankful we are for the Game On experience and how just from the way that was set up, like power isn't granted, it's assumed. And in that moment, Chad Johnson decided
I assumed I had power.
he just straight up be like, yeah, I'm not seeing a for reals executive producer here, so I'm just gonna take over.
Yeah,
which was awkward for the person that they were paying to be the executive producer.
Yeah, and I think I'm just awkward enough to have not like no. I was like blinders. I really want this thing, and like I don't care if he's upset about it. Like I wanted this.
Was he local? Was he local to Northern California, or was he only?
By the way, to be clear, I believe Lisa was the executive producer. The guy we're talking about was the producer.
Sure.
If
Okay.
that matters.
Yeah.
Right, something like
there
that.
was somebody that was supposed to be hands-on, and I don't remember exactly how physically hands-on they were because I was still in Florida.
He was like
time.
once a week he'd come in
He'd
and
pop
we'd like
in.
talk via email, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean he was on all the conference calls,
Right.
But what I remember happening very quickly was me and you effectively assuming
Yeah.
all leadership
Yeah.
of everything.
Yeah.
As we were like writing the sketches, then I was writing the sketches and all the segments. You
I
were
was
shooting them
and editing
and then
them and
editing
packaging them, yeah.
Going
Well, and
absolutely insane.
And I guess at the same time, for some of the sketches, I guess at that point, for the first time ever, I became a field producer because,
Right.
because
Yeah.
Brant knew how to edit, and I had one good camera, and it's like, okay, let's just. It was like I would spend 2 days, like for what was supposed to be one afternoon once a week. It felt an awful lot
It
like
was
a
whole
full-time
week.
job.
Yeah, it was full time.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, it was 100% full time.
I mean, especially since like we couldn't bank stuff like during the week.
No.
Because Veronica was in San Francisco and Brian's in Texas, which to Petaluma don't let the mileage fool you. They're effectively the same length functionally in terms of, getting the talent there and how long that they're going to stay there once they're there.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it was like Sunday we shot, Monday I was writing, and then Monday
It was basically
or Tuesday,
SNL.
Yeah,
Like,
Monday or Tuesday I would
Yeah.
get that to everybody to see whether or not Brian needed to shoot anything in Austin and Veronica needed to shoot anything in San Francisco, because I would write the sketches with that in mind.
Yeah.
Then you would go shoot anything else that was going to happen if you needed to go down to San Francisco to go shoot stuff, or Veronica would come somewhere else and you would shoot then, and then like you would edit everything up until we ran live on Sunday. But that was a live to tape show where like 2/3 of it were live
already
on some level, but like 1/3 of it was fully like
edited,
pre-packaged and edited, and it's just insane for the amount of time that it was there, which is like so weird that it also like it was at that awkward phase before we realized, oh no, this is a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What we should be doing is releasing this
As segments.
one thing a day. So every day on a YouTube channel, there's content. Instead, we were doing it because the mission for Twit was like, we do television now.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, let's do a television show. And so it's like, great, we're doing a television show's worth of work and applying it in the place where every comment is going to be, why don't you just talk and do a podcast? Like,
Could you imagine if we would have had that and done it today? Like, it would have been so different. The sketches would have killed. Like,
if we had just
if we
released
did
them
that,
as
if we
a
did it
YouTube
correctly,
channel,
if we would
Well,
have
especially
been a
being
YouTube
able to
channel,
respond in 24-hour news cycles
Yeah,
instead of
instead of
weekly
once
news
a
cycles
week.
or whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, and we've said this before, man, am I deeply, deeply thankful that we got to participate in 2.5 months of Hollywood Simulator because that was before, I had done any TV or any of that stuff. And it was the first time I ever read from teleprompter. And I assume that's the most production that you ever did for live live stuff at the time.
Yeah.
No, it was
I got
Hollywood
to answer
Simulator
emails on camera and screw that up every week. It was great.
And make a bit out of it.
Yeah. Not be able to read, get so nervous. Yeah.
Well,
Put the dyslexic
you were
on the emails.
You were also like sleep deprived
Oh
because
my God,
you were
yeah.
up for like 72 hours.
Yeah.
Like prior to the showtime, because like the shit had to get done.
Yeah.
The things had to get edited.
Yeah.
So you were always the most cracked out
Yeah.
by shoot day because like there was literally
Yeah.
like no
Because
other
we
choice.
I forget the format exactly, but it was like always we'd have a sketch.
Yeah.
It felt like we'd always have the news thing that was highly packaged. That was like 5 minutes of as much of the news headlines and a bit of description as possible.
Where it wasn't until like episode 7 until Justin confessed that he was fucking with us in the script because there was some sports guy that you increasingly would have us say like Jeep Jop Doodly Doo, hooray for the color blue.
No, I didn't. I never fucked with you guys. I fucked with somebody else on
No, you're
the
talking
show.
about the VO guy. The
Yes.
Well, I know that it was
Jim.
Veronica and I that were like, hey, what's up with these weird things that are in the teleprompter? And I remember you telling the bit to us.
No. That
You're
was
thinking of Jim Cutler at the.
no.
Oh, no.
That was what's it called? That was that was Shut Up and Play because oh god damn it. Now
Glenn Rubenstein.
Oh yeah.
So Glenn Rubenstein, shout out to Glenn. He's a nice guy, but he would always say, despite the fact that I was writing in the script, here's Glenn with Shut Up and Play. He would always say, hi, this is Glenn Rubenstein with Shut Up and Play.
Producer and co-host of, or there was something about like, it was his anchor because there's like a reset moment. You know, you get into a rhythm, welcome to Scam School, the only show dedicated
Yes.
to social engineering at the bar
And
on
so
the street
for whatever
or whatever.
reason, that bothered me. And I would tell him, don't say that because it doesn't make sense that we are pumping
Tossing
up
to
the
you.
fact that
Yeah.
like you're a cool guy, everybody should stay watching. And then you repeat the thing that they just said.
Right.
And so it got to the point where he kept doing it and it kept annoying me that, and this is an element of passive aggressive horseshit that I've had to work through my life. But sometimes I lash out in the work. And what the breaking point was, I had that intro where I think you and Veronica said it like a total of like 4 times between you. So you guys were each like, hey, everybody,
It's
like,
Glenn
as we get
Rubenstein.
ready for Shut Up and Play with host and producer Glenn Rubenstein, let's all remember that
Glenn
we're going to
Rubenstein, he's
throw
the host and producer of Shut Up and Play.
So I had
So let's
that.
go now to producer and co-host of Shut Up and Play.
Just because I wanted to see
Glenn
whether or not
Rubenstein.
he'd repeat it, and he fucking did, and I was just like, "All right, whatever."
That's awesome.
But no, that was that, and then
There was definitely, and somebody will find it from chat realm, but there was definitely for the first like 6 episodes some kind of weird stroke syllabic nonsense, and you confessed that it was you riffing on a sports person, and you made Veronica and I say it. It was something that it boiled down to. It always sounded to me like Lordy, look who's 40. Like,
all right, yeah, I'm sure it sounds like me.
that sounds like
We got a guy
somebody.
like that. Yeah, no, that. Well, also because I was writing so much copy.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like,
God! Yes.
it was just like
that was indispensable because I was not gonna do it.
it was
like
2 sketches and
the news.
the news and the throws and the VO.
Yep.
And like everything had to be different, and like each one of those things was also extra work for you because you had to do a montage to it. Like you had to do a YouTube video.
Oh, that's right.
To the news that was VO'd.
Yep. Yeah, that was the first thing. You and Veronica would show up, do your VOs, and then I would try to fit it all together. So what I would do is I'd get the script early, and I would record myself saying the script.
So
So
you
I
had the
could cut-
pacing.
Yeah,
Oh
so the
my
pacing,
God.
and then y'all come in, and this was like an hour before the show.
Yep.
And so I'd cut y'all's
At
lines
which
in.
point, Veronica and I would show up and immediately open beers. and go
And
live
you'd be like,
on the
"It's time
back
to
channel.
party." Yeah, and I'm like over there rendering as fast as I can. Yeah.
But again, shouts out to boot camp because
Yeah.
that really was a transformative
Well, I think
experience.
that's why I became Leo's producer too. Later is
Mhm.
like
because
it's
you
'cause
had
I had stepped up, and everyone said that I had stepped up, and I was just like I needed to get done. You know? And then I
We're
think that's
nobody
why
gonna
I
do it,
became
boss.
Leo's. Yeah,
you became the guy.
yeah.
And but that's also part of the reason why you got to go because you hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
that was going to be that. I do remember there was that period before you left though where you were just like carving out your own things where it was like, okay, now I'm doing the YouTube show.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing the Minecraft show.
What I really wanted though was for them to realize like this is how this works. Like I wanted Twit to go into the YouTube space like head on, and
Yeah.
I wanted it to be YouTube ready. What's funny is, in hindsight, there are YouTube podcasts now that do fantastically. Like they do absolutely,
like your red letter medias or what have
or
you.
H3,
Yeah.
or
Rogan before he went to Spotify.
Rogan,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like I didn't realize that could have been a niche.
Well, it was too nascent. I think at the time it was literally ahead of it.
But also,
of
it's
its time.
like it builds an audience like any other YouTube channel, where it's like it's got to have a thing that is specific to that audience that's there, and the stuff that you were doing, which you've obviously proven, is like, oh no, you want to do Minecraft tutorials and you want to do like these other things that like, I remember that was like the moment where it was either Twit was going to be like, cool, like go do it and we'll just take a cut on it, and I don't think that they fully ever grokked exactly what that could be. And then at that point it's like, all right, well, like I'm at the top of the like the production and leadership ladder, like there's not much higher that you can go there. The talent stuff that you want to do is like they don't really have a whole lot of interest in, so it was only really a matter of time before. And I remember
that all worked out.
Talking to you at the time when you were thinking about going to LA, which I don't quite remember.
Yeah, I don't remember the moment of the. I don't think I heard much about like in my imagination. You have some conversation that boils down to, I would like to leave, and they're like, okay, and then you teleport instantly to LA.
I'm there. I'm there. No, so what actually happened was they let me go. And so we went. So I really they wanted to shut down OMG Craft.
Oh, got it. So when you say they let you go, like the thing you were doing, they weren't interested in.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
So what happened? What in my memory, and it's very foggy. I have the worst memory ever. But in my memory, Lisa started talking to me like, "Hey, I think it might be time to stop OMG Craft," and I was like, "No, like I want this so bad." And I remember I had started OMG Craft independently, and then brought it to Twit, and so I was like, "I want it back," and then it was like, how much do I have to pay y'all to have it back? What are the terms that I get it back? And I think in that conversation, it was pretty apparent how much I cared about it.
Yeah.
And I think that was like a big sign to them. Like, I think he
ready
almost
to
cares
go.
too much about this.
Yeah.
He cares way too much about
this. He's like, even if he hangs around, he'll still be wanting to use our valuable premium
because there's
production
a lot
space and stuff.
Of Twit that, and this is not a ding, this is how they make their money, that it's like it's the same thing every week.
It's a flavor.
Like there's a lot of money that comes in for the radio show. There's a lot of money that comes in for the flagship
I don't
podcast.
expect pizza when I buy Bluebell ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. And so like for you, like the person that does that, you're doing a lot of the same show, like week in, week out. So like that's just not going to scratch that itch if you can't then also, for the price of doing that, do your own thing.
Right. So then I think that got in their head like, it might be time to say goodbye to Chad. And so then they let me go. But they literally let me go there's not a single thing they could have done better when I transitioned out of there, because not only did they give me severance, like they gave me a day rate to host other shows. So I kept hosting the Gizwiz. I kept hosting other shows. I would like Before You Buy and stuff.
Yeah.
And that let my lease run out. And then I moved to LA.
Oh, okay.
And so it was like the smoothest. And then they also gave me OMG Craft at no cost to me, which was incredible. And then they also ended up letting the Gizwiz go independent.
Yeah.
So all of that, like there's literally nothing. They treated me so well. Like there's nothing they could have done better.
I think your secret was you didn't get shit-faced and trash them on the internet afterward, because I think that's where we went wrong. Everything was really great until we got shit-faced and trashed them.
Then the Firewater Nation attacked.
Yeah, that was, I think, in hindsight, the way you did it better than the way we did it.
Well, I mean, not to get in the weeds, but our separation was fine. And then it was an after the fact thing that I think had less to do with us.
We got shit faced. And then the result was what it was.
So L.A.
LA.
What a town.
So then I teleported to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that I had a lot of fun. I feel like that was a grand time. I did a lot of like YouTube centric stuff.
Oh, you were at the time. I assume that part of being in LA was because that was the very, very first YouTube creator space, and
Yeah,
and
I really
Eileen was
wanted
down
to do
there.
creator
and-
space stuff. I literally only stepped foot in there like twice.
Yeah,
like
same.
it wasn't the reason to be there.
Well, and I don't know. I got the vibe, and this is me talking completely out of ignorance, but I got the vibe that YouTube was trying to pick their winners and losers, and
Absolutely.
I was not on the list, and so I could fight uphill to get in there, and then to what benefit?
Yeah, the creator space was like pitched as like, oh, anybody can use it. You can just come on in here, and oh man, we'll give you a TV show. We'll give you a show.
Anybody whose name is Freddie Wong.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what it became.
Well beloved and wants to do a show called Video Game High School. If your name's Freddie,
yes,
but also your last name is Wong,
yes,
just
that's what
please
it became.
use it like crazy.
That's what it became. And you could like sign up for their classes to help shoot Video Game High School if you wanted to, but that was really it. And so yeah, that was definitely not what I thought. But like I ended up recording with Captain Sparkles and stuff, and I had a grand time and a really good time in LA.
How long did you spend there? 2,
1
3
year.
years? That's it?
Yeah,
1
I remember
year.
it not
Holy
being.
cow.
It was literally one lease term because
Wow.
my lease started running out, and I was like, you know what would be great is to not live in a 700 square foot apartment.
You
know?
because I'm looking up smash cut to him looking at his goals, them getting blurry as a tear drops as goal number 1. Wake up in a big house.
I need that goal. Yeah, no, and yeah. So seriously,
I only have one monitor.
I'm only mostly famous.
I wake up to my fans and I say, "Hey," instead of "Hey guys." Yeah. Hey, there's not enough space here for the guys. Yeah.
So you make the decision to move to Texas. Is it public what part of Texas you live in? Or?
Dallas.
Okay, in the Dallas area.
Yeah.
But at what point do you start to make? Oh, I guarantee you. I don't know this, but I know this story. You made the mistake of just poking around on the Zillow.
Oh my God. You have seen me.
Yeah.
Like absolutely. Absolutely. No, here's what happened is I could have gone I was ready to get into a house. I mean, it was you joke about the goals thing, but
no. It was no joke.
That was definitely a motivation. And I was ready to get a house. And so, and I could have been anywhere.
Before we go, like get to that point, like the YouTube channel had taken off from that point.
YouTube was doing great.
Gotcha.
Twitch was doing great. I had been saving money. Yeah, everything was. And then I had just started my merchandise store after scam stuff. Like I was like, what is this Shopify? How does this work?
By the way, shouts out to Darren Kitchen, the patron saint of scam stuff. The dude who when he like upon finding out I wanted to launch an online store, hopped onto an airplane, showed up at my house, and said,
"This garage is now e-commerce."
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, quite literally.
Yes.
He's like, do this, don't do that, or whatever. And whatever wisdom, I think we talked a little bit about it. I passed on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had also I had worked at T. Myers, and that helped a lot.
Sure,
As I was like, okay, we need some warehouse space. I need to get these shelves. Got to divvy up product like this. Where's my pick tickets? I need my pick tickets. Yeah. No. And
so that was already humming, and so then it was the time.
And that was one of literally the main motivator for moving was I need square footage.
Yeah,
like I need as much square footage as I can afford. I had a
I didn't even think about that. That's part. You wanted the big house.
I wanted
to store big merch.
Big merch. I needed a place to put I needed a garage for the merch store. I wanted as much square footage for as many studios as I could fit into every room. Like that was the goal. And so it could have been in Florida, it could have been in Arizona, it could have been anywhere. And so I looked all over on Zillow and I found literally the perfect house. And I fell in love with it, but it was in Dallas. And if you grow up in Austin,
oh my God,
Dallas is
RC Cola Austin.
Yeah.
Not even Pepsi. Houston is Pepsi
yes.
Austin, or maybe San Antonio.
Since I'm a latecomer to this particular bizarre feud, I have noticed there is a very weird Dallas seems to have an adversarial relationship with every other Texas city.
Whoa,
You want money? Come to Dallas.
Because like hip people,
park a little bit close to my BMW,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Because like, do you realize how much the insurance alone on this
What are those
is?
30-inch rims? I have 60-inch rims on my truck.
but even then, beyond the like, the stereotype of like, big, I'm going to like lease a gigantic house and a luxury car so I can flex harder than I probably can afford. There's also like the hip, like deep Ellum Dallas that really resents Austin.
Oh, yeah.
Because it
We're
wants
too-
to be the cool
Yeah.
hip thing.
we can have a brewery too.
yeah, where it's like,
I don't get it. Everyone loves them.
Yeah.
Oh, 6th Street. We got lots
Deep
of
Ellum?
numbers of streets.
Yeah.
yeah.
We have streets all the way
Dick's
up.
Last Resort.
Yep.
We have.
No, you're gonna actually start a fight like these people because Deep Ellum.
No, I'm just waiting for the
I-
Austin-Dallas race wars to erupt at any moment.
Exactly. No, and
The
that's
problem is they'll never come south of Waco. Waco will turn them back.
but I didn't realize that it also, I guess that the Austin kind of sneers at Dallas as
Absolutely.
being the like
Oh,
Dallas
corporate.
stereotypes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Money.
The phrase I heard once was, "There's an awful lot of $50,000 a year millionaires in Dallas.
Yeah.
A lot of folks living beyond their means."
I mean, like Dallas in a lot of ways reminds me of Miami, except they don't have
Texas
like
flavor.
bizarre drug dealer taste. like Miami has the same thing where everybody wants to lease the crazy thing, but like for
Yeah.
them, it's like a Bugatti and they want to put a skull on it and
Yeah.
like they want to get butt implants and stuff. Where it's like in Dallas, it's like, oh no, I just want to buy a gigantic Walmart with like a huge like a Mercedes pickup truck
Right.
that I mod out or something
Right,
like that.
right.
Like it's a little bit more suburban than the
Right.
like exotic, like I need to own a tiger that I keep on my shoulder at all times.
But also there is, and I have to imagine this factors in, is you are the only Austin native here. You grew up
I guess
in
yeah.
Austin.
Yeah.
And so
Born and raised.
so you after going to the Bay Area and then going to LA, Austin to you would be going back home again.
Absolutely.
In a way that Dallas, maybe is another adventure,
Right.
And so I would imagine that shapes things a little bit.
Right. And it was definitely like, if I'm in Dallas, I'm only 3 hours away from Austin.
Right.
Like, why would I look at Dallas? Like, and so like it being in Dallas was a problem. And so I literally like skipped over that house. That was literally the perfect house. And then I kept looking for months, and then my lease started getting closer and closer. I'm like, well, maybe I'm just dumb for not looking at this house. So I flew out, looked at the house. I hated it. But around that area, there was another house that was also perfect. And so I ended up buying that one.
So wait, you went to go on your mystery date of your dreams and
I was
found her
like-
sister hotter.
Yeah. Her best friend was awesome. Yeah.
I feel like is that a Jane Austen novel? Like, is that like an actual book? Like,
Yeah.
So
that's how I
you
landed there.
move in, and I assume that you do I believe moved at a time when it was still an eyebrow raiser to say it's a deal or no deal based on broadband. Like I
guess.
as we've moved from house to house, every real estate agent,
Yes.
the answer has always been, I don't know. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's like, no,
Yeah.
I'll burn it.
I was the area that I was looking in Dallas was all very new, and so it was almost the default answer to be like, it has gigabit.
Yep.
Unless it was in a different area, and so I was very lucky that most places would know that it was gigabit, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
how long ago is that?
Almost 5 years now.
5 years.
Yeah. Wait. What year is it? Yeah, 5 years.
So now what? 8,000 square feet? Like, are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready to-
This shack that I'm living in, I'm tired of
I
it.
need to spread my wings.
He becomes OMG Borg, just assimilating everything around.
You know what? A house is nice, but a neighborhood is better.
You're just gonna buy the neighborhood and put in Disney tunnels.
Buying a house isn't cool.
Yes.
Buying a
You start
neighborhood
taking
is
your
cool.
own
house ruffles hair.
So at this point, let's talk about the YouTube stuff. So you crossed that magic million sub. That's on OMG Craft, or
Craft.
but you started a separate vertical for stuff that was not Minecraft related.
Right. So OMG Chad was actually the first. Like that was like I was like I'm gonna be famous off of OMG Chad.
Right.
And that was vlog.
And that was
stuff.
vlogging,
Yeah.
but I did my Minecraft, like when I joined the gaming group Mindcrack, that was all on OMG Chad. OMG Craft was supposed to be we thought about it so weird back then, but it was like, it was a show.
Yeah.
You know, this is my show. It's not really a YouTube channel. This is like my episodes are going to go up there. And so OMG Craft was only the show OMG Craft.
Yeah.
And so that's what it always was. And OMG Chad was just a YouTube channel where I'd upload some vlogs. I'd upload my live stream archives. I'd upload whatever.
That was like
OMG
chat on the street.
Chat on the street, like all my little bits and everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
For those unfamiliar, this is where Chad would literally lay down on the street and do an interview.
Yeah. It was a man on the street bit.
Yeah.
In a prone position with
Yeah.
a random who
Yeah.
he was able to get to lay down.
You got to get your man on the street interviews done, and they're on the street, right? Yeah.
So how well is that channel doing now?
OMG Chad is dead.
Oh.
It's. I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm sorry you had to find out like this, Brian.
I was here to spread the ashes. I was hoping that
I was unprepared for that answer.
I could have said 3 million. You'd have taken that better than
No. It went to a YouTube site upstate. Now it has so much room. It's got so many subs. It's got all the engagement.
No, I haven't
There's a
uploaded.
very nice farmer that gives it mattress ads.
Like a year. No. So like I felt like diversification at some point is not good. Like so I just threw all my focus on OMG Craft.
Okay, good.
Oh.
I mean, we're not gonna beat that, right? We
Yeah.
gotta punch out everybody. Where can people follow all of your
OMG
adventures?
Craft? Definitely not OMG Chad.
Not OMG Chad.
Don't check that
Don't
channel
go
out.
to OMG
No.
Chad and leave a comment saying "gone but not forgotten." Whatever you do, don't go there and just randomly leave comments.
Yeah.
Go to OMG Craft
OMG
and,
Craft.
and support Chad.
Yep.
Man, it is. It's awesome to chat, and really awesome because you always streamed on Tuesdays, so we were like
Yeah, so
never
we could
able
never
to
do
have
anything,
you
yeah.
on. I don't think you were on for like the entirety of Night Attack. Maybe like a
Yeah,
real quick.
no, I don't think was there on one episode.
One time.
All right, yeah.
But
That was a great episode.
I mean, obviously, so fucking memorable.
Oh man, I think back. Like
just remember all the good
yesterday.
times.
Yeah.
OMG Chad was alive. Like,
That channel.
all right, yeah, guys. A reminder: a ghost can attack at any time of the day.
Yeah, love you.
Bye.
Here, and that means it's time for Shut Up and Play, the Twitland party hosted by Glenn Rubenstein. Glenn, what the hell is going on tonight?
Hi, I'm Glenn Rubenstein, the producer and co-host of Shut Up and Play.
Yes!